Yo, what's going on, people? Game number 2. The battle for Brazil continues. Yeah, I know. The Gao should be involved in the battle for Brazil, shouldn't he? Anyway, game number 2. Franks v. Franks. Fire v. Miguel on Arabia. We're going to see an unstoppable force here in blue taking on an immovable object in red. Let's start off with Miguel this time. Miguel will have... Ooh, this is ugly. Miguel will have a double pond wood line on the back, which is nasty. Not only can you walk through this and have to wall it off, it's also like pointless to put a lumber camp on it. Just such a crappy wood line. Does have back berries, does have back gold. That gold is on top of a hill, but all in all, that's looking pretty nice for him. The problem is going to be wood. Miguel's going to have to take wood somewhere pretty far from the TC and rather exposed. Let's see how he solves this problem. This wood line is okay. This wood line is better, but it's still not really anything to write home about. On the front, hard to defend. Downhill craters on a lot of areas. Tough map for Miguel as far as the wood goes. Fire's got much better wood line. He has a much better wood line. How about that? Blue player here should be just fine to establish that backwood. He's also got a pond to the left of his TC, but not nearly as annoying of a pond as his opponents. Fire's pushing deer now, can probably wall up that left flank easy. Franks v. Franks, probably going to see some knights in this game, so it's nice to have a safe gold pile, which I think Fire might have. It's not the greatest, but I think he can handle it. A nice safe wood line. You get your farming eco going early, you should be fine. Miguel's got safe gold as well, but the wood is a little bit tricky. Okay, let's see how this one goes down. Sometimes you can rush into a fast castle with Franks. Having that extra food that the blue player is pushing in will help a lot. Unfortunately, Miguel is going to not find his... He's not going to be able to find his sheep just yet. Those sheep are just in the perfect position on those ponds. Those pond sheep are the worst ones. When you can't find your sheep, man, always check those ponds. Anyway, for the moment, we'll work our way through this one, see what the players decide to do. Okay, Franks. Well, you guys know Franks, but no Hazard, no Arbalest. Yes, they have gunpowder, but I don't think they get bombard towers. I should know that, but I'm pretty sure they don't. 4 vills on wood for the blue player, 3 vills on wood for Miguel. So Miguel may not go with the drush here, but Fire might. I think Fire probably will. I think by the time his drush gets cleaned up, he can have this whole area blocked in some shape. But look at this. Fire hasn't even found his own sheep either. Both players still searching for sheep. Oh man, Fire knows where they are though. He's done some sheep scouting. He's going to be just fine to go grab those last 2 sheep. And it doesn't look like it's hurt his eco at all. Anyway, battle for Brazil here. Why not? You got to name your series something. This is a set of 4 games. I don't know if there is a true winner or if it ends in a tie. But so far, we do not have a tie. So far, we don't. I'm not going to tell you who won game 1, just in case you haven't seen it. Anyway, looks like Miguel luring in boars. Both players on 16 vills. Neither player loomed up. Pretty normal Dark Age here. And we are all good, locked, and set to move forward. We'll just keep an eye on Fire here for a moment and see what the plan is going to be. Seeding a couple farms here. Interesting. Is forward with his scout now, not pushing any more deer. He's not taking any extra gold. Keep an eye on it. At the moment, 18 vills with 70 wood. I would think Fire probably aborted the mission of going with a drush, use that extra wood to build a farm. Maybe that was his plan all along. Oh, look at this. Interesting twist of fate. Fire's going to find Miguel's sheep for him, but Miguel was a gentleman in game 1. Miguel could have probably killed one of Fire's vills in game 1 in the Dark Age with his scout. In game number 2, we're going to see Fire send a sheep to Miguel. These guys are homeboys. They are playing very nicely with one another. Anyway, loom coming for both guys. Looks like Fire has about a 2-second advantage with his micro here. That means he'll probably get he might get to the feudal age 2 seconds earlier, right? Let's see who clicks up first. Ooh, it's actually going to be Miguel. Miguel will click up 4 seconds earlier. Fire just didn't seem to have the food there, I guess. Anyway, Miguel scouting forward. He's going to find Fire's wood lines. Blue player has scouted around and found a bit of what's going on. He still hasn't found that back gold just yet, but he's getting an idea of the avenues in and out of Miguel's base. Both players going quickly to feudal, so expect to see some aggression in the feudal age. Why not? Why not? Why not go with some scouts here? I don't know. You can do what you want. Franks, unlike Game 1 and Vikings, actually do give you a couple of options. Let's just see what these guys go with. The nice thing about going scouts, of course, is that you have a stable down already. Frank Knights are so nasty that you're going to want to build a stable at some point in the game. So save yourself the wood. Neither player going to gold just yet. So, it's probably going to be scouts. But hey, why ruin it? Anything could happen. They might go directly into, I don't know, galleys. There's enough water here, right? Anyway, 2 Vills building a stable for Miguel. He's a couple seconds ahead of Fire. Fire is going to do a little bit of walking before dropping his stable, giving Miguel a couple more seconds of a bonus. But it probably won't matter too much. I think that Fire could send his first couple scouts forward, but by the time they get across the map, or rather Miguel could, by the time they get across the map, the blue player here will be pretty safe. Quick Spearman out early for blue. Red player probably doesn't need that just yet. He's going to be walling himself in even further. He's going to be the one with more scouts earlier, so he will probably expect his opponent to play a little defensively. Miguel at the moment with a little bit of an advantage, just a couple of seconds advantage, but he's pulled out to a little bit of an early advantage in the feudal age, couple seconds ahead of his opponent, walled in. He's going to have a military out first that is, somewhat formidable. Looks like 3 scouts at the moment, making his opponent Fire build a spear or 2, and that's really nice. That's really good. Getting out early on the blue player. Miguel's map is pretty bad, and he's just really aggressively trying to wall it. Look at how much walling he's done already, and there's just no structure to work with. He's going to have to build so many walls to protect himself. But at the moment, the entire right flank here is really quite safe. I don't know if this is actually closed. This pond, I don't know if you could get out right there, and I don't know if you can get out here either. Anyway, keep an eye on that. That might be an interesting area later in the game. Looks like Miguel will be able to lure a wolf forward for now. Scouts circling one another at the moment like sharks. Not at all like sharks. More like guys on horses. Looks like the blue player will head forward and actually get to this wood line that is totally unguarded. Miguel is in hot pursuit. He's got 6 scouts at the moment. He'll add a spear into the mix. He's going to significantly outnumber Fire in this part of the map, but Fire might be able to snipe a Vill. Every one of those scouts got a hit in. That Vill was like the female Caesar, and she is dead. She died face down, unfortunately. Face down in the dirt. She said, "This doesn't hurt." Anyway, looks like the blue player will trade a scout for a Vill there in the end. Wheelbarrow coming in for Fire at the moment. Has quite a bit of food in the bank, a little bit of gold. Miguel's a little behind in food, but a tiny bit ahead in gold. Blacksmith coming for Fire. He's thinking about Castle Age pretty soon. Miguel's got an advantage militarily, but he's spent a lot of food on scouts, and that's probably going to give Fire the opportunity to get up to the next age sooner. But it will be a hole along this pond almost indefinitely. Almost inevitably. There's always a hole along those ponds. Fire's right flank closed in pretty nicely. Scouts will not get into this back wood line easily, especially with a couple spears here hanging out near the entrance. Blue player is still the aggressor, and I love it. He's not building any more military, but he's still sending those scouts in. Looks like another Vill under pressure. Fire's going to get out of dodge, but idling his opponent's eco there, being annoying, keeping all of these scouts on the defensive. Miguel at the moment, he's just in a tough spot. He has to send a few scouts forward at some point here. He just can't chase 3 scouts from his opponent with so many of his own. Nice quick walling from the red player, but not quite able to close that pond in time. Looks like for now, Fire's still running around in the back and just being annoying. I don't think he's going to get any more damage really in, but keeping his opponent busy. Castle Age on the way. Miguel right now has a military advantage, but he's not able to use it. Chasing his opponent around the map. Anyway, Miguel's not that far behind, though. I'm actually rather surprised about this. He's going to be able to click the castle here in maybe about another couple seconds. It's actually very surprising. After building all those scouts, Miguel will be about 1 minute behind a Castle Age. One stable at the moment for Fire, second stable coming, so double stable knights for the blue player. Red player's going to add in a second stable as well. So, all's well that ends well. Looks like both players will hit the Castle Age soon. They'll both be able to build some beefy Frank Knights. Seems like scale barding on the way for Fire. I'm sure Miguel will be upgrading his units as well. Okay, nothing too crazy to talk about here, so let's just go ahead and fast forward this one a couple of seconds. Let's see what goes on. Yeah, Miguel's still got a nice big military, but he's just not been able to go forward yet. He will not find anywhere to really get in. I think he could run past the TC into this wood line, but he runs the risk of getting all those scouts trapped. However, they are scouts after all. Might as well use them for something. Yeah, look at that. Miguel's going to run right through the top before Fire garrisons the TC, and he's going to get a couple of villagers potentially for his troubles. Is he going to get a couple? He's going to get one vill on the top there, and now on the back wood line. Perfect timing to hit Fire's eco right before he hits the Castle Age. Miguel is going to kill two vills, baby. I called it. I called it. You heard it here first, suckers. Anyway, Knight's coming out for the blue player. He's eventually going to clean this up, sending over a lot of spears. Oh my god, another vill. Why did Fire have a villager out here? That's really surprising. Second TC coming for the blue player. Wow, this is going to be a really safe area. I like that a lot. Knight raiding does dictate that you need to be able to garrison your villagers from time to time. But Miguel will run in. He'll grab a couple of vills, and it's looking decent here. It's looking decent for the blue player. I'm sorry, for the red player. Miguel getting another vill on the farm. Pushing a few more villagers away, keeping his opponent busy. The shoe is seriously on the other foot now. Miguel's small, rather weak army keeping Fire's bigger, stronger army very busy. Anyway, 3 TCs for the blue player for now. On the red side of the map, we're going to see an early monastery. Obviously, always good to be able to convert your opponent's knights, and a second TC on the way. Okay, so Miguel, for now, will not be able to boom so strongly. Oh, look at this. Fire's going to go tit for tat here. He's going to say, you're raiding my vills? Come on, bro. Come at me, bro. He gets one back, just one villager. Actually, Fire's a couple villagers ahead with his extra TCs. One villager down for now. Blue player is into the red eco and raiding. Did a really good job to idle that gold. The more he can idle the gold, the more his opponent will have trouble building out knights. Monks are in the mix, and oh sweet baby Jesus. Another villager going down there on the side. Ooh, do we have a wolf kill? No, we don't. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Anyway, for the moment, we will see Fire get out of dodge. Oh my god, is he going to get another villager? Oh, wow. Fire doing a great job there to just click on the weakest vills, I would suppose. Finds a villager on low HP and just snipes her. Okay, for the moment, it's slowed down a bit, but really nice rating from Fire, and having 3 TCs versus his opponent's 2 TCs has put him a little bit ahead. Right as I say that, though, I think Miguel has built a 3rd TC somewhere. Where is your 3rd TC, Miguel? Maybe not. Maybe he sold... I don't see a market either. Where'd that stone go, broski? Where did it go, man? Oh, 3rd TC coming in absolutely out in no man's land. Interesting location? Sure. Top of the hill? Why not? Alright. Wolves in the mix. Looks like Miguel is significantly outnumbering Fire, but Fire stands and fights there. Miguel will have a 3 military advantage, but a 6 villager disadvantage as we move through the middle of the Castle Age. The meat of the Castle Age. That sounds more fun. That's a lot more fun. Spears, monks out on both sides. We've got a couple of knights here and there. Miguel's army seems to be of a bit higher quality. More knights. +1, +2 knights versus really not upgraded knights. Just +1 defense for Fire at the moment. Fire's knights are pretty darn weak. He spent a little more money building up that eco, or a little more food, I should say. It's really putting him behind in the knight count. Couple of monks out for the blue player, though. He's pretty darn safe. He's going to push Miguel back for now. And Fire's in a really good spot to win this game. Again, just like game 1, he's behind in the score lead, but he's ahead in our minds and in our hearts. I think Fire's in a good position here. Plus sides for Miguel is that he had not a terrible map. He just didn't have a very good map. And he's done a decent job to protect a lot of it. He'll have 3 TCs up. He'll be relatively safe back at home. And he does have a puncher's chance to win this game after, this is a crappy map, man. Remember how bad his wood lines were? Remember? I remember. Anyway, at the moment, Knights roaming forward from Fire. Still not very many upgrades on those. Trying to get in some raiding and some annoyance. Fire's got to be saving resources. No, not really. 8 villagers ahead at the moment. The blue player is not on stone. He is by no means going quickly to the Imperial Age. It's going to be quite some time. But yeah, what's going on, Mr. Fire? Military size is similar, but those knights are so wimpy. He's still building out spears at the moment. Playing a rather defensive game with some counters. Looks like on the top of the map we will see Fire push through these palisades. Miguel is going to have an army in the vicinity, but look at this. This seems like a massive over-response. We're going to see Miguel have, 10, 12 knights back at home, just waiting for these 5 knights to push their way through. 5 low-tech knights coming through. Seems like a bit overkill, but nonetheless, Fire is going to start mining stone on the front. Scale mail armor coming from Miguel. Interesting. We'll see mills and houses and economies expanding here. At the moment, blue player, floating a bit of resource everywhere. Miguel hurting for food for now. Falling behind militarily, but I think he has the better military at the moment. He's got quite a few knights with very nice upgrades. I'd love to see Miguel try to get in and do something, but he's playing very defensively. Fire didn't even bring his army in. He just knocked those palisades down, broke the wrist, and walked away. He's going to come back, break another wrist. He's got to go in this time, right? Surely. Surely he'll go in this time. Barracks coming down for Miguel. Pikemen on the way. We saw him get scale mail armor. Thinking about maybe playing a little defensively himself. Very interesting game. I would say passive game from Miguel. Miguel right now has only seen a couple of knights coming forward from Fire, but he's really respected them. I mean, really, really respected them. In the meantime, we see the blue player just building up a really massive force of counters. Tons of monks waiting in the wings, spears waiting, and actually a pretty good size army of knights, but still, where are the upgrades, man? Where are the upgrades? Surely he should have more upgrades than that. Maybe you guys know better than I do. Miguel's converted knight here from Fire chasing around the scout. At the moment, we will see Miguel. Oh, he's got a couple of converts, but he's +1/+2. His opponent just going with 1 defensive upgrade for the moment. Let's see. TC coming up on the hill. Blue player playing very defensively, slowly building forward. 3 more barracks coming for him. Looks like we are going to see pikes up the wazoo. Scale mail coming for the blue player as well. He's going to get a couple of knights here for free. Miguel's just going to throw those knights directly into the pikes, man. The pikemen. Anyway, siege workshop coming on the hill. Battering rams will be rolling out soon. Red player trying to get in some raiding, does grab a monk, does not quite get in yet, but he will put pressure on these walls for now. Keeping Fire quite busy for the moment. Miguel floating a ton of gold. Switching to counters and saving up his pennies for a rainy day. Fire will have a ton of gold in the bank as well. Both guys should be able to click up here pretty darn soon. Their food ecos are going to be huge based on how many knights they've built. And, pretty big. They should be able to compile the food they need to get up to the Imperial Age soon. Fire's pretty heavily on stone, thinking about castles. Frank castles are cheaper, remember that. Take over a little territory for a little less money. Ooh, it's a lady. 5 monks roaming over in this direction. Fire's got 1 knight out there to keep Miguel a little bit busy and annoyed. 4 monks coming in. How many conversions will we see? 1, 2, 3 converts. Wow, that is a really big swing. Fire will chase Miguel back across the map after converting 3 knights. I like it. Blue player's military is bigger. It's starting to become a pretty high-quality military because he's building more and more knights. Upgrades are still not where I would have expected them to be, but that's where they are. Just +1 defense for the moment. Gonna start to crank out the pikes, I suppose, as the game moves forward. There's chain barbing armor. There we go. University coming for the blue player. Gonna start roaming forward with his knight and trash army. Looks like both players will go with knights and pikes for the moment. Mangonel added in here from Miguel. That should do really nicely to cut through Fire's pikemen. Knight on knight action in the middle of the map. What is going... Ooh. Mangonel shot reigns in. Not really the greatest. But yeah, for the moment, although there are battles going on, we're really just waiting for the Imperial Age. I don't think either of these guys is going to do anything too crazy right here, right now. Miguel will throw a few knights away. That's kind of crazy. Did not need to turn around and fight those pikemen, but he did. So Fire able to get even more knights for cheap. Military numbers are very similar. Blue player is going to run past this army by the looks of it and head into Miguel's eco. Miguel's got an opening in the wall right there. It's actually a 2-panel wide opening, I think. And that's going to let Fire right into his eco. This is let's say 11 knights. It looks like 11 knights to me. Those knights will run in toward the TC. Immediate conversion there from Miguel, but nonetheless, Fire's running amok inside Miguel's eco. Miguel will have some idols, and that is for damn sure. At the moment, 20 idol vills. I heard 1 or 2 just die now. Really nice raiding from Fire. Miguel's army has to turn around and run home. All those pikes he had on the front just running home as fast as they can to try to save some villagers. Looks like 2 more vills will die up on this gold pile. Fire's got more knights, and oh, sweet Jesus, he's found this back wood line. Oh, don't run away from it, bro. Kill the villagers, bro. What is he doing? What is going on here? Kill them. Okay, good. I feel like a serial killer. It looks like a couple more villagers could go down here on this wood line. Red player gets up to Halb. He's Imperial first, but his economy took a beating there. 22 villagers behind Fire. And really not going to have any ability to hit Fire before he gets to the Imperial Age. There is some ability. There's a castle out. Trebs are going to start rolling out first. That's going to be a nice advantage. Red player's actually going to have a nice advantage here because he'll get a couple Trebs. He'll start Trebbing on this castle. He'll be waiting with a bunch of Halbs. And what are you going to do, Fire? What you going to do, bro? All right, Imperial Age coming in now for the blue player. He will, for the moment, do what? Ballistics. Interesting. Halberdier, chainmail armor, and ballistics. Ballistics, you say? Archery range is coming for Fire. What is going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 archery ranges. Well, gunpowder is an option. Franks do have gunpowder, and we have seen a lot of rather gunpowder-friendly units, right? Halbs don't stand up that well to gunpowder. Look at this. We're going to see archery ranges across the front from Miguel as well. More Trebs coming in. For the time being, it will be 4 Trebs unpacking and just unleashing absolute hell on this castle. Fire's castle here is going to be in a lot of trouble. So Miguel's advantage to the Imperial Age did not turn out to be pointless. He's still a little bit behind in villager production, but he'll catch up eventually. Fire threw his knights right into the eco of Miguel and kind of, lost almost all of them, I would think. Transitioning his military now toward what I'm presuming are gunpowder units. What's going on? Yeah, chemistry is in, and we're going to see some gunpowder. We're going to see some powder. Okay, blue player has enough stone to build another castle, but for the moment doesn't really have a good place to build it on the front. Villagers out on the front here taking this extra gold and just building tons of houses. Miguel coming forward and starting to look like a bit of a wrecking ball. Adding in more and more ranges as we speak, adding in more and more siege workshops, has some castles to defend his side of the map. 2 nice hills so far, probably more castles to come for Miguel soon. He's got 5 Trebs on the front, man. 5 freaking Trebs. It's turned into a meat shield of Halbs for both sides and some gunpowder behind it. And at least for the moment, Miguel's earlier Imperial Age is giving him a bit of an advantage. Miguel is in a good position. He's going to continue to push on the front here with Trebs. Seems to be killing a lot of farms. I'm sure he's really pumped about that. Farms going down like crazy. Going to start working on these ranges here for Fire. That will help a lot too. Obviously, your opponent needs those to produce their military. Heavy help action on the front. Seems like the numbers are similar. Both guys streaming in more units, but Miguel seems to be streaming in more and more hand cannons. Fire just doesn't have many. He's got one bombard cannon. He's got some monks, and he's got... I don't even see a hand cannon out here. At the moment, we're seeing Miguel pushing ahead. He's going to take down a Treb here and a bombard cannon, and he's going to start pushing back. Fire's got Halbs in production, but it just went so catastrophically bad for the blue player in the early Imperial Age. Castle on top of this hill for Miguel, continuing the creep, going to put pressure on these buildings on the front. And for now, it's looking absolutely like Miguel's game to win. Fire's still got a lot of economy. He's got 106 fills, still ahead of the red player. He's got a couple castles out on the front. But man, oh man, it's going to be really hard for him. 5 Trebs rolling forward now from Miguel. Miguel's got this beautiful, beautiful batch of Halberdier on the front. Just an absolute... it's a honeypot. What, are you going to run up to this castle with all these halves around and a bunch of hand cannons to try to kill these Trebs? Nah, ain't going to happen. For the moment, 5 Trebs roll forward and 5 Trebs start launching. And lobbing in more of these big boulders. Castle under pressure, and it will go down pretty quickly to 5 Trebs. Fire can repair it if he wants. He has the stone. He has some villagers nearby, but this castle's doomed. There's no way to stop the Trebs. The Halbs are starting to roll in. It's starting to feel like it could be GG. In the back of the eco, Fire has nothing up his sleeve. There's no like secret stables or anything crazy coming in last minute. He's just got those couple of archery ranges on the front building hand cannons and a couple of barracks building Halbs. It's just not going to be fast enough. Gonna drop another castle right where the last one died. Just one panel out of range of those Trebs. Trebs starting to knock down the military buildings. Don't sleep on that, man. That's a big deal. Kill your opponent's military production. You're really gonna stop them from being a factor. He's got nothing left to build with. He's got 3 ranges and 1 stable at the moment. Trying to get up a big enough group of hand cannons to continue the fight. But it looks impossible from my point of view. I don't see how he gets back in this game. Miguel will go Cavalier here just to run in and do a bunch of raiding, I suppose. Looking like, oh man, the red TC jumping up on this gold pile. He's not going to garrison and kill those vills for now, but he can whenever he wants to. This is really a tough position. Tough position for the blue player. Looking like Miguel is going to probably take game number 2 here. Miguel will also go Paladin, even though I don't actually see very many Knights on the field, or very many Cavalier. He'll go Paladin just for the heck of it, just for shits and giggles. Let's see. A couple of Trebs out for the blue player. Looks like he's going to probably keep them alive for now. Bombard Cannon coming into range, though. Miguel's going to put some pressure here. Treb Ward has begun. Fire has a chance here. He's losing some vills, though. And it's going to be really tricky to keep those Trebs alive for much longer. You have to try to snipe this cannon, and he will. Oh, sweet Jesus. A couple things needed to go right there for the blue player, and a couple things did go right. Okay. Alright. I'm feeling it. Fire is alive right now, but man, the stables are starting to pop up en masse. It's going to be 6 stables. Paladin on the way. Fire's not even going to GG out of this game. He's just going to resign. Oh, man. Miguel winning that game. It felt like Fire's game to win. Miguel hit the Imperial Age first. He had aggressive castles. He started pumping out Trebs. And he had so many Halbs around that Fire couldn't do anything about it. Fire was also housed. I mean, I didn't mention it in the cast, but when we first looked at these ranges, he was like massively housed. There weren't any hand cannons being produced. He had to like quickly drop as many houses as he could on this side, and it was just maybe that combination of factors just made it impossible for him to win. So there you go, man. You can have the better eco. You can have good rating on your opponent. You can have a really safe base, or so you think. And it can all turn around in just a couple minutes of game time. Okay, well, the battle for Brazil continues. Game number 2 here is going to go to Miguel. We'll go to game 3. This is a set of 4. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys missed game 1, check that out. Vikings War on Arabia. Anyway, this is Killer B. Thanks for tuning in. Much love.